Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're going to do another round of community notes violating people. This is a staple on this channel at this point. We've done 4 or 5 videos like this and you guys seem to really like them. So we're going to do it once again today. Now for your information, in case you don't know, the community notes system is one on Twitter that is a communal fact check system where applicable users can apply a note under a tweet if it's spreading something like misinformation. And if that note gets enough upvotes from the community, it goes live under the tweet. And this is something that is not perfect, but it's a very good system and generally pretty reliable. But one thing is for sure, it often leads to really funny results, like the examples we're going to look at today. Now, before we look at those examples real quick, I'm happy to share that my code REV35 will get you 35% off your advanced GG order over the next couple of days. You can see it ends at the end of the day on the 24th, and you can use this code to get 35% off their shakers as well as their energy supplements. And it's a great time to restock or to try out this product. I always stand by Advanced GG. Their stuff is really good. Not only delicious, but also very effective as well. So again, all that information will be in the pinned comment. So here's the first example, and this will be the only person I'm going to censor when it comes to their name, because I'm pretty sure this person has a humiliation fetish with the amount of terrible tweets they make, so I'm not going to participate in that and give them the direct attention they want. But they say this. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. If you think Jenna Ortega is hot, you weird as shit and pedophilic. She looks 12. And of course, the note simply says she is 21. Now, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If you look at Jenna Ortega or any other adult woman and instantly think of children, you're the one with the problem. And again, this keeps happening to Jenna Ortega because she looks youthful. People keep making tweets like this, and it's really, really bizarre how people want to infantilize her so strongly. But this person would dispute the note with a quote saying, "Community notes was not needed at all. When did I ever deny her age?" Literally right in the tweet, but the note says, original poster called people pedophiles for being attracted to the 21 years old Jenna Ortega, which was a factual error and misrepresentation of context. Community note was indeed needed. Now, recently we talked about this character Aphrodite from Hades 2. Now, the irony is, of course, a lot of game journalists are praising this fully nude character, but then attacking Eve from Stellar Blade, who is fully clothed. But we also saw people claiming that Aphrodite in that game is androgynous. We saw this user saying that her face was designed to be androgynous to represent men and women's attraction. And they also claimed that the main protagonist, Eve from Stellar Blade, was made with someone who was only using one hand, implying that they were, themselves off. But that's besides, insulting on many ways, and especially since there's a good number of women on that team. But this note would be attached saying Aphrodite has historically been depicted as a symbol of feminine beauty, often depicted nude or wearing clothing that accentuated her curves and elaborate jewelry. She is not androgynous. Yeah, unfortunately, you got to pack it up here, Claire. You have been disproven. Here's another one saying this is a psyop to make you gay. Muscle mommy fetish is literally homosexuality. And you can see the note simply saying it's not gay for men to like women. Every time we do one of these videos, these community notes violating people videos, there's always at least one note trying to convince people that liking women as a man makes you gay for some crazy extension of reason. And here's another one. And of course, every time this conversation about muscular women comes up, they always use pictures of this same woman, who is Lean Beef Patty, by the way. She's a popular creator. She is known, obviously, for being very fit. And people always use her for these weird claims on the internet. Just leave her alone. It's so strange. Don't rope her into your nonsense like this. Here's another one talking about Scarlett Johansson, saying, "Scarlett is so mid, bro," with a circle on her stomach here. And in the note, it says, note needed, farming engagement for revenue is prohibited by user guidelines. We'll get into that in a second, but basically, Paul, listen, dude, it's 2024. If you don't like women, that's okay. You can just say that because this is outrageous. And with subjective opinions like that, there used to be no option for a note because it's subjective. But now we have this rule, which is very real, by the way. This is something that Elon Musk tweeted out a few days ago saying, any accounts doing engagement farming will be suspended and traced to source. Now, of course, this is the most open-ended rule that's ever existed because basically every tweet is a form of engagement farming. That's like the whole point of tweeting. But of course, I think he means the more dramatic examples of this, people baiting responses and intentionally spreading around misinformation. Accounts like this. We exist in a time where there is an actual scoreboard for people getting hit with community notes. There are people with almost 400 notes applied to their tweets. It's absolutely insane. And one thing that all these accounts have in common is that a lot of them are spreading like internet conspiracy bullshit. And I don't mean like genuine conspiracies or people questioning the reality of things or really poking for the truth. I mean like genuinely insane, completely disprovable claims that they make in their tweets. Like some of these accounts, they'll make a tweet like, "You see this? This image is actually a symbol of an underground sex cult run by billionaires who eat babies and is funded by the CIA." And then the note on the tweet will say, "That is a picture of a plate of mac and cheese." Like these people are genuinely psychotic and they spread so much misinformation and they're rewarded because their accounts are monetized. And it's insane that these people keep getting away with this stuff and people even take them seriously in the first place. But here's some another account that's definitely gonna crack their way into that top 10 if they keep this up. Historic Vids, a gimmick account that uses exactly what it says, historical vids. Here's one saying how they used to make rope before technology, where the note says, "This is technology." Yes, I like the very simple notes like this where you basically disprove what they're saying in only 3 words. Those are my personal favorite, but here's another one from Historic Vids saying, "This is what your brain cells look like when you learn something new," and the note says this is completely false. Here's my problem, Historic Vids. Did you run out of content? You have the most open source of stuff to talk about. Historic Vids. Any video taken of human history since recording was something that we could do. That is a lot of content, and the fact that you're randomly posting this that has nothing to do with history is very strange. Like, bro, your gimmick is the easiest one out there. And the videos you're sharing, you're not even making them. You're just taking samples of other people's videos based on history or something like that. It's so weird that you have to go to this length and then get noted anyways. Like, it's embarrassing. Here's another one. I've seen this same picture spread on multiple nature accounts saying, "Baby smiling shark." And the note says, "That shark is suffocating." Yes, all these nature accounts like, "Oh, look at the beauty of nature," and they're literally suffocating a baby shark, trying to act like this is somehow cute or something. Here's another one saying why you shouldn't visit Hawaii if you aren't native, a thread. Oh, not a good start. So the note here says, tourism makes up more than 20% of Hawaii's GDP, over $2 billion in tax, and supports hundreds of thousands of jobs. Stopping tourism would destroy all of that. You should visit Hawaii at your own discretion as long as you are mindful of the local communities. Now, that is something that can be said about traveling anywhere. And I've seen examples of people making similar claims about Japan. You're invited anywhere in the world. You'll find yourself very at home in places like Japan or Hawaii if you're just respectful. That is the bare minimum. When you're a guest visiting somewhere, including another country, just be respectful. That is a universal language. There's pretty much no misunderstanding. Just be respectful of the people who live in that country. That is it. Here's another one saying, list of things that don't hydrate you. Plain water, and then a list of things that do hydrate you. Milk, gelatinous broth, orange juice, raw meat. Raw meat. Look, if you're going to eat raw meat, you're going to definitely need some hydration because you're going to be spilling out your insides because you're going to catch diseases from this. Okay, but the note's very simple. You can ignore all this garbage here. Water does, in fact, hydrate you. It is like almost conspiracy level when you have to say that water is hydrating you. Like you have to convince people that drinking water will hydrate you. Here's another one saying subway station in Guangzhou, China. This would be impossible to build in the West nowadays. And the note says, this is Leipzig, Germany. Yes, I saw people in the replies to this saying, this is literally my commute. And you're telling me this couldn't exist in Germany. Like, I don't understand that the sympathizing for China is something that's very, very strong on Twitter, including tweets like this saying, under communism, you already know this tweet is ass. You already know 2 words in, you know it's terrible. Under communism, every family will have food on the table, where the note says, communist countries undergo food shortages regularly nowadays. Before the fall of the Soviet Union, not only were these shortages frequent as well, but communist governments also made them happen purposefully under the pretense of collectivization. And that is definitely a very interesting section of history if you want to check that out, but very true. Here's another very disturbing note. This comes with a backstory. I believe Moist Critical made a video going over this if you want to check that out. But this is very, very strange. So if you didn't notice, about a week ago, we had a solar eclipse, okay? Very rare event. And this individual with over 100,000 followers on Twitter, by the way, who's like a astrology type account, they thought this was the sign of the apocalypse. And they actually acted on it. And during the solar eclipse, she murdered her own family and offed herself in response to this belief. She genuinely believed it was the end of the world and took her whole family down with her. It's a very, very bizarre story. Like I said, other people have made videos on it, but it's very tragic. Terrible, terrible stuff. But here's another one saying, I experienced my first earthquake in New Jersey. We never get earthquakes. The climate crisis is real. The weirdest experience ever. And the note says, New Jersey sits on a fault line, has nothing to do with climate change. Yeah, obviously it's a little more rare to have an earthquake in New Jersey, but yes, they are on a fault line. That is a fact. It has nothing to do with any sort of climate change. And also the way people reacted to that earthquake was hilarious. Within literally hours, there were people selling shirts saying, I survived the earthquake in New Jersey of 2024. It's very bizarre stuff. But here's another one. Speaking of climate change, this user saying, is it time for Greta to release a swimsuit calendar or something to raise awareness for the environment? And they get noted saying this image appears to have been digitally altered to make Greta Thunberg's breasts appear larger than reality. Yeah, you know, I think Greta's pretty annoying, but this tweet is weird. You are a weird person for making this tweet. Not only what's captioned, but also photoshopping her body. Brother, this is weird. Weird stuff. Here's another one from Kamala Harris. The VP saying nobody should have to go to jail for smoking weed. Where the note says, as district attorney, Kamala Harris oversaw 1,900 convictions for marijuana offenses, some of which resulted in jail time. Thank God for the community notes, because people eat tweets like this up without knowing the context and how much of a hypocrite she is on that subject. And here's the final note saying, Cybertruck is savage on off-roading trails and handles the mud like a champ. And the note says this is not off-roading because they are on a road. Yes, brilliant, simple, and effective note. But that is another round of community notes violating people. Like I said, I enjoy this little segment. I know you guys do too. So we'll do another one of these in a couple weeks, maybe a month. And as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's video in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.